You know that feeling? Your phone buzzes and it's that message, your password was found in a data breach.
Ugh, yeah. It's awful.
Truly awful. And honestly, most of us have probably been there. And the scale is just wow. Reports say something like 19 billion compromised credentials floating around on criminal forums.
It's staggering. It really highlights how um, vulnerable our passwords still are, even with all the talk about new security stuff.
Right. Passwords are still the main way in for a lot of attacks.
Exactly. And just so we're clear, a data breach is basically when sensitive info, like your username and password, gets stolen from, a company or website.
Precisely. And that's what we're digging into today. We want to break down this pretty significant update from Google
The
Chrome.
browser that, well, billions of people use.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about making password management easier and hopefully more secure. So, our mission here is to give you the lowdown how this works, what it means for you, but keep it simple, no super technical jargon.
Sounds good. And we've looked at quite a few sources for this. Forbes, LifeWire, BGR, The Verge, TechRadar, even Google's own stuff.
So, we're pulling directly from those.
Right. And it's interesting because, we hear so much about moving beyond passwords, things like passkeys.
A more secure, passwordless login things.
Yeah. But that shift away from traditional passwords, it seems to be happening, well, maybe a bit slower than some people thought.
You'd think people would be jumping on alternatives, wouldn't you? With all the breaches.
Well, the sources suggest maybe people feel a bit overwhelmed or maybe confused about how passkeys work.
I
For
don't
example.
want the hassle of changing everything. Yeah, I get that.
So Google stepping in to help with the password problem we still very much have.
Okay, so what are they doing?
They've built this new feature directly into Chrome's own Google Password Manager. The core idea is Chrome will now offer to automatically fix your password if it detects it's been compromised when you log in.
Okay, hold on. So instead of just the scary warning, Chrome actually says, hey, let me fix this for you. That sounds useful.
It does. Google's product managers Aurora, Desai, and Kitamura basically said the goal is to make it simpler for you to react quickly when your account's at risk.
So how does that automatic fix work? Like step by step, easy version.
Okay, so Chrome checks the password you're using against those known lists of stolen credentials. If it finds a match,
Oh,
yeah, then it shows you a prompt, a message asking if you want Chrome to fix it automatically.
and then?
And here's the cool part. On websites that support this feature, and that's important, supported websites, Chrome can generate a strong new password and save it for you. Right there.
Without leaving the login page, without digging into account settings.
Exactly. That's the no friction aspect Google's talking about.
Yeah.
Keeping you secure without you having to, abandon the whole process because it's too annoying.
Wow, okay, that is a big deal. Because honestly, when I see that warning, my first thought is usually, oh great, another chore.
Totally. That mental barrier is real. Changing passwords manually is tedious.
So removing that friction, that could actually make a difference.
That's the hope. Parisa Tabriz, she's the VP and GM of Chrome, called it a win for safety as well as usability. It's about overcoming that inertia, that feeling of, I'll do it later, which we all have.
Makes sense. If it's easy, people are more likely to actually do it.
Right. Which could mean better overall security for a lot of people.
No, I think I read something about Android phones too. Passkeys on Android. Is this Chrome thing related?
Ah, good question. So yes, on Android, the Google Password Manager can offer to upgrade your saved passwords to passkeys on sites that support them, if you've enabled that.
Okay.
But this specific Chrome update we're talking about today seems focused purely on fixing passwords. The forces didn't really link it directly to passkeys within this autofix flow for Chrome itself.
Got it. So two related but slightly separate efforts
Yeah.
from Google. One for passwords in Chrome, one pushing passkeys on Android.
Seems like it. Improving password security and encouraging passkey adoption.
Okay, so back to the Chrome feature. Why is this really important for you listening right now? What's the key benefit?
I think the main thing is reducing stress and effort. Dealing with a compromised password alert is just a pain.
Definitely.
Thinking about having to go change it, maybe across multiple sites, it's daunting. This feature aims to just handle it for you on sites that play along, make securing your account after a breach much, much simpler.
Okay, that's a clear benefit. So how do you use it? Do I need to turn something on?
It's part of Chrome's built-in password manager. So if you already let Chrome save and manage your passwords, you should be set. It'll just start offering this when needed.
But what if I use, say, Firefox or a separate password app like 1Password or Bitwarden?
Ah, right. Good point. The sources, like BGR, mention that. If you use something else, Chrome's feature won't automatically kick in unless those passwords are also in Chrome's manager. You might need to sync them or import them into Chrome for this specific feature to work.
Okay. Something to keep in mind if you want to use this. Now, a potential worry. Will Chrome just start changing my passwords automatically without asking?
No, absolutely not. That seems very clear from everything we read. Chrome will always prompt you first.
Okay. Phew.
It'll show a message. You have to click yes or approve or whatever the button says. You remain in control. It won't act without your okay.
That's crucial. Control is key. Okay, so it sounds great, but are there, limitations? Things it can't do?
Yes, definitely important caveats. First, like we touched on earlier, Chrome only knows about breaches if those stolen logins get posted or leaked online somewhere it can check.
So if my password is stolen in a way that doesn't become public?
Chrome won't know. It won't trigger this automatic fix, so it's not a catch-all shield.
Right. Not foolproof.
Exactly. Which is why all the standard advice still absolutely applies.
Like using strong, unique passwords everywhere.
Yes. And enabling two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication wherever possible. That second layer is so important.
And considering passkeys where they're offered.
Absolutely. Those are still fundamental security practices. This Chrome feature is a helpful tool, but it doesn't replace those basics.
So it helps react to known problems, but doesn't stop you needing good habits in the first place.
Precisely. And another point, The Verge asked if Chrome might just start changing passwords proactively, like every few months, even without a breach. Google apparently said no.
Okay, so it's purely reactive to detection compromises, with your permission.
That seems to be the focus, reacting effectively when a problem is found.
Got it. Now, you mentioned Google I/O earlier, their big developer conference, and BGR noted the blog post talked a lot to developers. Why is that?
Well, for this automatic update to work smoothly, the website itself needs to be compatible.
Ah, okay. It's not just Chrome doing its thing in isolation.
Right. The website needs to be set up to allow Chrome to securely interact with its password change function. So Google's giving developers a heads up saying, hey, here's this new capability, get your sites ready for it.
So developers need to do some work on their end to support this feature.
Correct. It needs cooperation between the browser and the website to make it seamless for the user, for you.
That makes sense. It needs to be a team effort.
Exactly. For the benefit of easier, better security for everyone.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up simply. What's the main takeaway for everyone listening?
The key thing is, Google Chrome is rolling out a really helpful new capability. It can offer to automatically fix weak or compromised passwords for you on websites that support it. The goal is to make dealing with those annoying password breach alerts much less of a hassle.
Yeah, simplifying a really crucial security step. It does sound like a potentially big improvement for usability and safety.
Making security less burdensome.
Definitely. So as you think about this convenience Chrome is offering, maybe pause and consider. How do you feel about that balance? The balance between ease of use and your own control over security.
Interesting thought.
While this update helps automate one part, what other simple steps could you take to boost your online safety? Maybe now's a good time to finally tackle creating stronger passwords or turning on that two-factor authentication everywhere you can.
Good reminder. It's an ongoing process, staying safe online.
It really is. Well, that's about all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks so much for breaking that down with me.
My pleasure. Always interesting to see how security is evolving.
And thank you for tuning in. If you found this explanation helpful, maybe hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive.
Yeah, definitely subscribe.
And give us a thumbs up if you like the chat, and maybe ring that notification bell too, so you know when the next one drops. We really hope to see you for our next analysis. Until then, stay safe out there.